Hello, dear viewers. Today is another holiday, and after 1 week, another video. Today you are watching and another content which will help you to make your knowledge about agreement and labor law very strong. Okay, then today we will discuss about the topic offer and acceptance. It is a lecture about making a contract with anyone. So let's go. First one, definition of the contract. A contract is an agreement between two or more parties that is enforceable by a court of law. If one party fails to perform as promised, the other party can use the court system to enforce the contract and recover damages or their remedy. Agreement plus legal obligation or enforceability by at law is equal to contract. Now comes agreement. Agreement is equal to offer and acceptance. Parties must show mutual assent to terms of contract. Once an agreement is reached, then if the other elements of a contract are present, a valid contract is formed. Every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is an agreement. What is a promise? When the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. Example: Ram offers to sell his car for rupees 1 lakh to Sham. Sham accepts this offer. This offer acceptance becomes this offer after acceptance becomes promise, and this promise is treated as an agreement between Ram and Sham. Therefore, an agreement consists of an offer by one party and its acceptance by the other. Agreement is equal to offer plus acceptance of offer. An agreement is said to be enforceable by law if it creates a legal obligation. Acha. Then if any agreement is incapable of creating a duty enforceable by law, it is not a contract. Thus, an agreement is a wider term than contract. An agreement is said to be enforceable by law if it creates a legal obligation. If an agreement is incapable of creating a duty enforceable by law, it is not a contract. Thus, an agreement is a wider term than contract. An agreement is said to be enforceable and then all contracts are agreement, but all agreements are not contracts. Agreements of moral, religious or social nature are not contracts, then they are not likely to create a duty enforceable by law. Parties never intend to create a legal obligation. X invites his friend Y to a dinner and Y accepts the invitation. If Y fails to turn up for the dinner, can he take his friend to court? Answer is X cannot go to the court to claim his loss. A father promises to pay his son rupees 1000 as pocket allowance. Later he refuses to pay. Can the son recover the amount? The son cannot recover as it is a domestic agreement and there is no intention on the part of the parties to create legal relations. Distinction between an agreement and a contract. Agreement, offer and its acceptance constitute an agreement. An agreement may or may not create a legal obligation. Every agreement need not necessarily be a contract. Agreement is not considered or binding contract. Then definition of the contract. Agreement and its enforceability constitute a contract. A contract necessarily create a legal obligation. All contracts are necessarily agreements. Contract is concluded and binding on the concerned parties. Forms of contract. Three types of contract we can see in our law: written, oral, and partly oral and written. Essential elements of a contract. In order for a contract to be enforceable, it must contain offer, acceptance, and consideration. Capacity of the parties in terms of age and mental ability, the intent of both parties to carry out their promise, legally enforceable terms and conditions, also called object of the contract. Parties to a contract. Offerer, the party who makes an offer to enter into a offerer. Offeree, the party to whom an offer to enter into a contract is called offeree. Offer. An offer is an expression of willingness to contract on certain terms. It must be made with intention that it will become binding upon acceptance. No further negotiation. Now further negotiation, counter offer. Counter offer kills the original offer. Communication of the offer. To be an effective offer, an offer must be communicated. There can be no acceptance without knowledge of the offer. Acceptance. For a contract to be formed, there must be an acceptance. The acceptance must be an agreement to each of the terms of the offer. The acceptance can be by words or by conduct. Making inquiry is not counter offer. Okay. Communication of the acceptance. The general rule is that acceptance is not effective until it is communicated to the offerer. In unilateral contract, other party perform some act. The acceptance of the offer occurs through the performance. Exception to the need for communication of the acceptance, where the offerer has waived the requirement of communication, only limited to the bilateral contract, contrary the postal rule. Okay, so that's the end of the lecture today. I hope that it will help you to learn about the offer and acceptance, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment box so that I can make the answer for you. Thank you.